Hello and welcome to this YouTube channel. I am Abhishek Pandya. This is the lab 3 of analog circuit course. In this video, we will see peak detector, clamper circuit and voltage doubler circuit. Their explanation and LT-Spice implementation for different variations of RC and the inputs. So let's get started. So as you can see from my screen, this is the lab 3 of analog circuit, and you can see that there are 3 questions given or 3 circuits given. So the first one is filtered half wave rectifier peak detector, second is clamp circuit, and third is voltage doubler. Okay. So we will go through every circuit one by one, and you have to vary the resistors, capacitors and the input to see the difference in the output. I hope you already know about these circuits. If you do not know about them, I am going to link the videos for the explanation of this in the description box. Our focus is on LT-Spice right now, but I am also going to explain them as we go through them. So let's start with the first one, which is filtered half wave rectifier peak detector. So if you can see this particular circuit, there if you remove this capacitor from here, okay, this will become half wave rectifier. Okay, so only this much circuit if you consider, it will become half wave rectifier. So that is what this is. Now filtered half wave rectifier means you are adding this capacitor, and because of the charging and discharging of this capacitance with the help of RC time constant, this circuit can give a constant DC voltage at the output. Okay, so it can also be used, this particular circuit, as AC to DC converter, as we have seen in the first lab as well. Now this circuit can also be used as peak detector. And how it can be used as peak detector? So let's freeze now. So you can already see a new circuit on your screen, which is peak detector. So and on your left side you can see a graph where you are given with this waveform, and on the right side there is a circuit with the diode and capacitor. So if you remove the resistors also from the circuit that is given to us, this circuit will become like this. Yeah. So what it will detect? It will detect the peak of the signal which is given as V in. So there are many peaks in the graph on your left. So what this capacitor will detect? The highest peak, which is the second one. Okay. So that peak will be decided by this. If you want detailed description of the circuit that is peak detector, I already linked the video explaining this in description box, and I am also going to put a timestamp here, as you can see on your screen right now. On this timestamp to this timestamp, you can understand the working of this circuit. Let's go to our circuit and LT-Spice implementation. Okay, so in LT-Spice, this is a circuit that we have made, right? So 500 Hertz is the frequency, and we want cosine signal, so I have given 90-degree phase shift, and 5 volt is the amplitude, and yeah, this was the input, right? So 1K was resistor, 1K, 10K the diode and the capacitor. Okay? This is V in and this is VO. So V in, V out, and I am using this transient 50 millisecond. Okay? So if you run this, so first of all, let's just get the input signal. So this is the input signal, VN001, then the VI, and this is V out. Okay, so let's just now focus on these graphs. So this is the first, second, and this is the output. Okay, so we are getting this kind of graph at the output. Okay, so this is decreasing the value from this. If we just focus this, so starting from, let's say it was 4 volts to now it is decreasing, and after one time it becomes stable. Now you can see it is varying in the constant range. Okay, so that is it. Now let's vary these values. Okay, so now let's vary this capacitance value to 1 nano. Okay, 1 nanofarads. Okay, so for 1 nanofarad, what will happen? Okay, so if it is 1 nanofarad, the circuit is behaving like halfway rectified. You can see, right? So for positive cycle you have the waveform, and for negative you do not have it. Okay, so kind of that behavior. Why it is happening? Because this value becomes too small, and that is why the charging and discharging of this capacitor is extremely fast. So that is why it is just following like that. Now let's say increasing this value, right? So 1 micro it was there, right? 1 micro. Now do it, let's say we are going to make it 0.1 micro, something like that. Let's say 0.1 micro. So let 0.1 micro, if it is there, so yeah, so it is giving this waveform, this kind of a waveform. Okay, where this different charging and discharging effects you can see. Okay, and if you change further, let's say you make it very large. So let's say you make it this one. Okay, 1 millifarad capacitance. So yeah, you can see it is constantly decreasing the value. So 4.0 to 4.032, this is the value which you are getting. So for different values or different ranges of values, you are getting this. Okay, 1 milli and 0.1 milli also you can go, and you can check that what you are getting, different values. Okay, so that is about the circuit you are getting. You can vary the resistance values as well. You can vary the inputs as well. So you have to vary all this resistance, capacitance and input values, and you have to see that what different results that you are getting. So you have to compare this range of voltages or frequencies, the value of R and C, and how the dynamic is there between the RC and the frequency of the circuit. Okay, so you can do that manually by one changing this value of R, C, and getting different values at the output. Yeah, but if you do not want that, if you want to check the values simultaneously, then you can use param. Yep. So I will just move it here. Yep. So I will just explain this one by one so you can understand. So this is the command. Okay, step param CR list, say for 0.1 micro, 1 micro and 1 nano. Okay, so what I am doing here is this capacitor I was manually giving the value to it. Okay, now I am getting this CR. What does that mean? Capacitance ranges. So yeah, this is a step param list. Okay, so if you just right click on this and remove this. Okay, so now dot step param CR list 0.1 micro, 1 micro and 1 nano. So for the capacitance values that are 0.1 micro, 1 micro and 1 nano, you will get different waveforms or different V0, different Vin. Okay? So right now just remove this. Yeah, so if you just run this now, and so this is the VN001. Click here VI and click here V, add plot play. Okay, so maximizing it, this is the input, this is the so this is the input given, apply voltage, this is the VI and this is the VO. Okay, if you can see here, you are getting these three different waveforms. Okay, right now remove this, like there is no need of this. You can clearly see that VO is this. Okay, the waveforms you are getting, okay, red one, pink one and the blue one. If you click on here, you will get this cursor, right? Now if you press upper keys and lower keys on your keyboard, you can move from here. Okay, so basically if you click here and vary this, so you can move. Okay, So right now, see, right now you are getting the 93 microvolts and you are on the red waveform. Okay, if you move this by clicking here, now right now you are on a blue one. Okay, how do you see that? So this you can see, right, on the left there is blue. We are moving on the blue curve. It is 1.69 volts, and if you move, you are on the pink waveform now, right? You can see this is the waveform. You are getting this, right? This is the variation. You are getting this values to 2.63 and all. Now how do you know that what value is this and which capacitor for which capacitor value you are getting this? So just right click on this view and go to step legend. Okay, so you can see the red one is for 1 nanofarad. The red one, which is this half approximately half wave rectifier kind of a behavior, it is 1 nanofarad capacitor. The blue one, which is 100 nanofarad or 0.1 microfarad. Okay, this is the blue one. Okay, and 1 micro one, which is this, which is the pink one. So these are the different capacitance value. Now let's say you do not want to see all three waveforms because it is too cumbersome, right? So just click here, go to view and select steps. So you can select which one or which two of this you want to see. Yeah? So just click here, press Ctrl and click this and this. Okay, so now you will be able to see 0.1 microfarad and 1 microfarad capacitance ranges. Yeah. So this is one now, so you can understand, right? This is 1 microfarad and this is 0.1 microfarad. So that is the variation. So if you can see here, let's say, so view and step legend. So yeah, so 100 nanofarad or 0.1 microfarad and 1 microfarad. For those two, you will get this. So you can get these variations like this. You can have multiple variables. Okay, so let's say right now what I have done, I have varied the capacitance ranges, the CR. You can vary this R2 or R1 as well. So let's say I am varying this value of R. Okay, and I am doing this register ranges. Okay, and removing this semicolon. So now once again run this, not this one, close this, and now run this once again. So now what will happen, for each resistor value we have three different capacitance waves, or for each resistor you will have three waveforms, or for each capacitor you will have three waveforms. There will be total of 9 different waveforms. So now let's just click on the output. We're getting 9 different waveforms. Okay, how do you see them? You can, as I mentioned, you can click on view, step legend, and yes, you will see the different values. Okay, so green one is 1 nanofarad, 1 kilo ohm. Then CR, so basically capacitor 1 nanofarad. For that you will have 3 different resistors: CR 1 nanofarad 1k, CR 1 nanofarad 100k, CR 1 nanofarad 1 million or the 1 mega ohm. Okay, so these are the 3 total 9 waveforms, right? So now if you want to see them one by one, you can just click here, you can go to view and go to select steps, and you can select which one of them you want to see. So click here and just, let's say I want to see for let's say this. Okay, press Ctrl and click on this 3. Okay, so you will be able to see for 1 nanofarad capacitance what happens to the variation of resistors values, right? So you are getting these 3 values. So this 3 you are getting, right? So now let's say you want to see view and step legend. So yeah, so there are 3 colors: green, dark green, and blue one. Okay, or the sky blue one. Okay, so for that green you are getting this value: 1 nanofarad 1k, 1 nanofarad 100k, 1 nanofarad 1 mega ohm. So different variations you are getting at the output. Okay, so this was the intention behind this step param. Okay, you can also vary this resistance and you can check, and also you can vary this input. Okay, you can change this frequency to, let's say, 5000 hertz. Okay, and then what happens? So basically what happens, that because this is 50 millisecond, you can and this is 5000 hertz, you can remove this, and you can, let's say, you can do here 1 milli. Now run this, so you will be able to see it in much better form. Okay, how this waveform change according to the value of input frequency. So input frequency was, now let's say, now it is a 5000 hertz. So you are getting this variation, and these are the waveforms you are getting. 9 waveforms for different resistor and capacitance value. Okay, so for each of the question in this assignment, you need to follow and see the variations. Either first you can do manually all of this, and then you can combine this as I've done in this particular experiment. Okay, so you can understand the different variations that you are getting. So now let's move to the second question. So as you can see here, this is the second question. It is about clamper circuit. So as you can see here, we have a sinusoidal supply, cosine supply here with 5 volts, and there is resistance, capacitance, and the diode. So with the help of this particular circuit, we can clamp the waveform. Or what does that mean? So what can we do with this circuit? We can get the output voltage same as the input, but it is clamped, or it is DC offsetted voltage, okay, at the output. Okay. So now let's just freeze for a moment. So as you can see on your screen, you are getting this input voltage, which is Vm, which is from 0 to t. This is the t time period signal. This is also sinusoidal. What this circuit will do, basically, the Vin voltage, which is between 0 to Vm and 0 to minus Vm, so it is minus Vm to plus Vm, that will be changed to 0 to 2 Vm. So input signal same shape is there, only that the output will be DC offsetted. So we have added plus Vm voltage in this signal to make this the output. Okay, so the VDC, as you can see on that, that is offsetted. Okay, so this is known as the clamper circuit or clamp circuit. So this is the same circuit as we have. Okay. Now let's just go back to our circuit and LTSpice implementation. Working of this circuit, that is explained very nicely in the video which I have linked in the description. I hope we'll put timestamps also right now. So this is the timestamp, you can, from where to where you can see this. So now let's just move to LTSpice. Okay, so as you can see from here, this is the LTSpice circuit, LTSpice circuitry scheme, that is resistors, capacitance, and the diode. Okay, and this is the variations, and you can do it. Okay. So this is V in, V out, and I'm varying this C1 as I mentioned in the first question. I'm not going to do the same thing for all the questions. You can understand from the first one. You can first manually vary all the values R, C, and input, and then you can do that. So this is the value of capacitance that I am varying between this 0.1 micro, 1 micro, and 1 nano. It must clamp, right? So let's first remove. So just run this. So the input, then this one, and then this one. Okay, so add a plot plane, maximize this in, and this is the. Okay. So as you can see, there are 3 things, but let's just focus on the output right now, because it will not be possible without it. Okay, so step legend. So for 1 nanofarad, 100 nanofarad, and 1 microfarad, these are the different resistance, sorry, these are the different capacitance values, and we are getting this. Okay, so as you can see, the voltage initially was -5 to +5, but now if you click here, can see it is clamped. So the voltage minimum value which we are getting is for the waveform is 130. What voltage has been clamped. Okay, so from -5 to +5, it is now from 0 to 10. Okay, if we see it's a single waveform. Okay, we do not want to complicate. So let's say remove this. Okay, this one. So basically click here and this add this. Yeah, so you can see now, right, what we are getting. The minimum waveform is like -125 millivolt, and it is climbing up to what, 9.77 volts, right? So that -5 to +5 is now converted to 0 to 10. We can have positive and negative clampers as well, right? So if you change the direction of this diode, so basically if you just change this, let's say let's do that for the sake of experiment. If this diode, if we remove this, first of all, let's say if you remove this, okay, and let's say we can add one more diode once again, and let's get this straight here. Now what happens? This what we are getting now. So if we click here, ranges of voltage, see, this is now what, 30, it is going to what, 34 millivolts, and the maximum the minimum we are getting -9.8. so that was known as positive clamper. This is known as negative clamper. Okay, that climbs up the voltage, this climbs down the voltage. So basically climbing up and down. Okay, so that is the working of the functionality of the circuit. You can have positive, negative clamper, you can have different variations and all these things with the help of this positive, negative clamper. This is known as negative clamper, because for positive it will just pass this, for negative it will be stopping this. So that is the functionality and that is the use. So that is how you can understand this circuit. Now let's just go to the third one and the last one. So this is the last question, or the voltage doubler circuit. This is the input voltage, resistance, capacitance, 1N914 diode, this diode, the resistance and capacitance. This is known as voltage doubler circuit. Now if you want to know the functionality, let's just freeze. Okay, so now you can see on your screen the circuit that is named as a voltage doubler. This is V input voltage and C1, D1, D2 and C2. So basically this is a simplified version of the circuit that we have. Okay, so the voltage across this V input will be doubled across C2 or 2Vm. Okay, you can see, and the explanation of this is given in the video that I have put in the description. Analysis of this circuit is given in the video that I have put in description box, and you can start from the timestamp. This will be desired waveform across our circuit as well. Okay, so now let's just go to the LT-Spice implementation. So this is a circuit which we have. Same thing as I mentioned, first vary this all parameters manually. Okay, resistance, capacitance, and this capacitance, and this is the input waveform. Okay, this is the circuit. So if we run this particular simulation, at the output we will be getting double the voltage input. Basically the peak to peak was -5 to 5, here it will be 10 volts approximately. Okay, so you can see there it will be taking time, as you can also see in the video that I have mentioned. It will take certain number of cycles before reaching at some constant value. Okay, so if you click here, the first one, so this is the time which is taking. So basically first cycle, second cycle, there are times it is taking, then it is reaching at constant value of 9.3, 9.4 volts approximately. So the point here is that the circuit gives the double voltage that which was there in input, double that at the output. Okay, 2Vm, or -5 to +5 was +5 was the maximum voltage that we are getting at the input. So here it is getting +10 volts. Yeah. You can also have the reverse configuration where you can have -10. Okay. As I have done in the clamper circuit, this is the lab 3 as you are given, and you can vary different capacitor resistance, input values, and so on in here. Okay, so if I just increase this also with 5000, what happens? See this. So basically this is the circuit we are getting. See, this is much smoother. Okay, it is much smoother than what we got initially. Okay, so if I just remove this to 5, you can change this also, right? So you can understand in better ways. See, in the larger time frame it looks smoother. Why? Because we have a larger time frame and the frequencies we have increased. Okay? So when we decrease the time frame, we will understand that it is not smooth at all. There are the steps for each cycle. We are charged, the capacitor is charging, and finally it will reach to some value, higher value. So right now you can see for this small time frame, 5 milliseconds, it is charging, right? This is the actual scenario happens in the circuit. So this is the third question of the lab 3, and this was your lab 3. So that was the video, guys. If you find value in this video, then like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will meet you in the next one. Happy learning. Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.